Wow. Happy Friday. Which better way to what better day is it to make this video? It's a Friday. We're dealing with the heart chakra. Ow. Shout out to all my Venus Syrians out there. Not playing. Anyway, so I'm doing today's video on, as you can see, as I promised, gay agenda or divine intervention. Now, as we know, there's been a lot of conversation on YouTube, off of YouTube, about this gay agenda. And you have these rappers who obviously practice some type of tea coming forward and saying, the gay agenda, they teaching my brother how to be gay. And it's like, if you're saying that the media and the people outside of your home have more influences over your children than you do, then I think you're playing the victim role. And I think you need to really get into yourself, get into the power of thyself, and use that power to maneuver through. Because, honey, girl, I remember I have an older brother who's, I won't go too deep into this, but my mother, oh God, I think my brother was selling marijuana and my mother found out. He was like 14, 15. My mom she found out, and I don't know how she found out, but she was cleaning up our room and she ended up going through his shoes, like box of shoes, because my brother, he collects shoes. He's always collected shoes. And she went through his shoes and she found the weed in the shoe, and she confronted him. And he's like, Mama, why you checking me? Chill. And I remember this because when my older brother got in trouble, my mom would bring us in, I guess, so we can see what it's like if we get older and get out of line. I don't know, but she would do that. She would make us all come in there and watch him get chastised. So she confronted him about it. He's like, chill, mama, chill. Why you being so hard on me? And she said, because I don't be hard on you, then when you go outside, they're gonna be hard on you. And I'd rather take your life than let the world take your life. Or it was something like that. And that stuck with me, actually. Because growing up, they would always remind us about that. If you get out of line and I don't discipline you, then they're going to discipline you. And of course, when they say they always speak about society. And that's honestly what's going on in current events, on some matters, but I'll step off of that, girl. So like I said, you can see the video is called Gay Agenda. J Agenda. Oh my God. J Agenda. Oh my God. What language am I speaking here? J Agenda. So is it a gay agenda or divine intervention? I'll let you decide after I present to you what I feel. Okay. I personally feel that there's a divine intervention, as there is with everything. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background on this video. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I encourage you to have an open mind and be very respectful to the person who's presenting this video, but also the people that may be influenced by what's going to be presented in this video. Okay. So first I'm going to oh, we got them both up. Praise you, God. Yes, honey. Let's get into this, honey. Just in case you're wondering, because I'm gonna say it right now. I've been working on this for about 3 hours. This video I'm about to show you now. And I went shopping, grocery shopping, honey. Got my favorite cereals. Honey roasted, crunchy honey roast. Yes, girl. Anyway, so this is my grocery bag. I've not put anything up yet. I came in, I said, let me get started on this. And now we're done. So let's get into it. Hello. So, let me not rob you of any more time. Excuse me. Ow, ow, ow. So we're going to get in on the slide first. Can we do that? Can we get on the slide? I finally fixed it. Yay. So, gay agenda or divine intervention. Now, you want to exclude or excuse the Pluto and Scorpio for right now, but we'll be talking about that. Just in case you missed my Capricornus energy video, we will go over that a little bit as well. Okay. Let me give you a little background about, influences, because I might get some atheist people that might come here. I might get some people that's not aware of astrology or any of that. But I just kind of want to educate you on, on your ancestors, because if you're anybody that practice anything that deals with numbers, science, the study of like medicine, and even the body, you have to really know where it roots from. But either way, astrology, which is the study of stars, astro means star, and ology, because they wouldn't put astrology, is study of, can be traced back well over 25,000 years, originating in Mesopotamia, which is, Sumer, Akkad, Assyria, and Babylonia. Now, people don't really talk about the Akkadian Indians and Sumerians and the Assyrians, and going into, shout out to my people out there in Assyria, honey. Woo, yes, honey. Shout out to my Assyrians out there in the 209. Yes, honey, they do their yearly festivals. I need to go see them. But either way, and later adopted by the ancient Egyptians. So of course, when you look up, there's people that say the ancient Egyptians had it first, and it's like, no, baby girl. We all know what the T got down, because Zoroastrian goes back before, it predates anything ancient Egypt. But anyway, using the celestial bodies that move across our skies has been used through our human history, from, I think I meant to say out, but let's excuse that, from governmental influences, languages, and life-changing decisions. Yes, astrology is used in all areas of our life, and they're not going to tell you that they decide to put certain holidays and certain, government events on certain astrological and celestial things. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to have you think that they just thought of May 27th for a certain thing, or they thought of November 7th for a certain thing, and it is what it is. But either way, our ancestors even used the cosmos to predict season changes and the time of the day. Astrology helped drive the development of astronomy, which is knowing the laws of the stars, because anything with nami is defining the laws and or a specific knowledge of an area. So other studies came from astrology, like alchemy, meteorology, and medicine. Yeah. Yeah, herbal, and the current medicine that we use nowadays. Thanks to astrology, they wouldn't know how to make Bayer's aspirin and or any medicine that you take right now. They say a lot of people are on depressive medications and all that good stuff. So either way, ultimately, astrology is used. Let's go ahead and hide this, for divination, and unfortunately, the ancient astrological teachings are no more. They don't teach you the real tea anymore. As they do with all things, they water things down, give you what they think you want to know, and or add a little bit of their own twist into it. Okay, and I always tell people, the study of the stars did not come from, America or Europe. Hello? Okay. Hello. And horoscopes is a sign of watered down of astrology, because of course, they can give a broad statement of, in today's astrology horoscope, Geminis will experience some bitterness. And it's like, girl, what happened if you don't experience that? Then you're like 1 in 20 or 1 in 10. Like, what stats? Who designed those stats? And of course, with each sign and each zodiac and each generation of beings, and we're going to go over that as well, like the millenniums and all that other good stuff. With each generation and each zodiac, there are daily influences of the outside celestial bodies that does influence them. And even going into yearly, So like I said before, the horoscope, that's an example of watered down astrology. Okay. The moon. The moon. Now, of course, I'm giving you a little background about astrology, but my main focus is talking about Pluto and Scorpio. So I will give you here and there in this video, but my focus is Pluto and Scorpio. I want to put that out there, because you might be like, well, you didn't talk too much about that. Do your own research. How about that? The moon is the earliest celestial body shown in cave walls and bones, well over 20,000 3,000 years, showing how she affects, and I like the moon is definitely a female. She affects things like tidal waves on Earth. We all know that oceans, the flow of water. Our current calendar is actually based off lunar cycles, if you do not know that. The woman's monthly cycle is also influenced by the lunar cycles, if you didn't know that. And our farming, like the Farmer's Almanac, even going into surgeries, our body is influenced by the lunar cycles. Even when the moon is, going to fall on a certain day of the week in that month of that year, it's already pre-calculated. That's how they come out with a 2018 calendar in 2017, because it's already pre-calculated. And they could go up to like 36 months, I believe, in predicting. And I even think that it go further than that, because I was reading somewhere that every year the calendar will recycle itself every 30 something years. So a good example is the calendar from 1987 will be the exact same calendar in the year 2026. But let me get up off of that, because like I said, my goal is Pluto and Scorpio. My auntie had hair down to her rear end. My auntie Rita, I loved her. We went to the same school. I actually never met her, but I heard a lot of stuff about her. This was the auntie that was able to astral project and do all her gifted teas. And she claimed that her hair grew based on her cutting her ends, as well as giving her hair certain treatments, not conditions, like, she'll slap Crisco oil up in there, eggs, mayonnaise, all that good stuff up in there, honey. And something else, which I won't say on here because y'all might find it disgusting. When my mama told us about this, I was quite disgusted. When my grandmother shared it with us, I was like, honey, I'm not putting that on my hair, girl. But, she said that this grew her hair according to the lunar cycles. If she cut her hair and did certain things to her hair, like diet, and condition it, that her hair would grow. And like I said, she was the only one in that generation that had long hair. Let's talk about it. I think I have a picture of her, which I will share later, with her hair in a huge bun at the top of her head. But later studies show that lunar cycles also affect brain waves. Our brain waves. The animals' brain waves. The trees, how everything grow. Believe it or not. Look up, do your research. Not brain influences of trees and stuff, but you know what I mean? Like the natural ways of the trees. And influences sleep patterns, behaviors, as well as memory. Yeah. Do your research. Look at some studies on the full moon and how it affects sleep patterns, behaviors, and memory. The introduction to the outer planets in astrology. Once again, I want to focus on Pluto and Scorpio. Of course, you have Mercury influences, Capricorn, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. But I want to keep it on, like I said, Pluto and Scorpio. So I'm just giving you a little bit of background of this and what influenced the change that you guys are seeing now. And I hope that you understand. This is speaking about the generation from the 70s. I should have put late 70s, like 1975, up to 1998. All this planetary stuff I'm going to speak in here have influenced these decades. Okay. So the outer planets like Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and believe it or not, depending on who you ask, Uranus is considered the gay planet of all the planets. No tea, no shade. I'm not cutting in. I'm speaking the truth. Like I said, you could do our research. We're not going to go into that, hello. But either way, and look at the way the name is spelled. No pun intended, but you know what it is. But the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, influence us on a deeper level. Everybody's influenced by these outer planets if you were born during the time where these planets were in the zodiac. Yes. Uranus in Scorpio, Uranus in Sagittarius, Uranus in Capricorn, and Uranus in Aquarius all happened in the 80s and 90s. Scorpio actually happened in the 70s. So like I said, I want to keep it, I should have said mid 70s to the 90s. But either way, Uranus deals with progression, change, technology, innovation, enlightenment. It celebrates originality and individuality. It rules surprises and all things unexpected. the 80s, or should I say the mid 70s and the 80s, brought a whole bunch of progression, change, technology, do your research, devices, cellular devices. In the 70s, the first man to actually figure out Wi-Fi technology was an African man. I think his name was something Samson. You can look this up. But yes, these things were invented. These things are very popular, honey. Let's talk about it, honey. Originality came about, flower power people, freedom of expression of oneself, and also kids really talking back and saying what they really don't like. Because before then, y'all really wasn't saying that. In the 60s and the 50s and stuff, y'all wasn't telling your parents what you really don't like. Girl, they would have went outside and got you with a switch, honey, and or roped you up and I'm sorry. They be telling these stories, so I have to laugh about it because girl, I heard some crazy stories. But anyway, let's start with Uranus and Scorpio. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of background because, like I said, my focus is Pluto and Scorpio. Okay. Uranus, people that are born with Uranus and Scorpio, you are very expressive and have no issues expressing anything, honey. You're very persistent, honey, and sometimes too aggressive. You'll be well suited in the profession of healing, or as a healer, a surgeon, or a psychologist, because you're good at going beneath and finding out the cause of things. In this case, diseases. You're good at studying, analyzing, and seeing what's really going on beneath all that, TT, girl, something ain't right to me. Let me look into this. If your Uranus is retrograde in Scorpio, you will have jealousy, possessiveness, and envy to work on. People with Uranus and Scorpio are usually into taboo fetishes, and you can look up what taboo means. I'm not going to expose that on here because I don't know what YouTube will do to this video. The mystical, the occult, and the dark mysteries hold your interests. It should have been a dot after fetishes, but don't worry about the punctuation, the grammar. I'm just here to present to you my theory of what I think this gay agenda is coming from and why they really mad. How? And the ones who are born between this age, I'm going to say, you're just a copycat. I don't want any involvement with anybody who was born within this thing I'm about to tell you, this generation, who are saying that gay is our agenda. You're just a copycat, boo boo. Then you wonder why you're going through your depressive problems and all the other good tea, honey. Let's get a hold of, let's get a grip with reality, honey. Okay. Uranus in Aquarius. Oh, girl, Aquarius, they're very detached, honey. Hello. I love my Aquarius out there, though, honey. Hey, Aquariuses. Uranus and Aquarius people are very intuitive, or they have great intuitive skills and original ideas. Once again, excuse the grammar. They're great with technology. They are the inventor type. They are devoted friends and really enjoy helping others. They are gifted with how things operate, primarily computers, machines, and cars. They are great problem solvers. Okay, due to and excuse the way that do show up, it should have been DUE, to the emotional detachment of the Uranus in Aquarian, you not only have an interest in new structures and ways of relating with a lover, you encourage yourself and your partner to work out a relationship that's exactly right for the two of you. You tend to be so more open. You're into an open type of relationship. So typically the ones that are into that open relationship stuff, we got an open relationship. Yeah, I can guarantee you have Uranus and Aquarius, honey. Hello! Uranus and Capricorn. Yes, you're creative and business minded, more into liberal politics or seeing the liberal change side of it all. Freeing, liberating, releasing things, honey. Everything is government or political with you. This is probably one of the most sexual stable of all signs that Uranus has traveled through. Polygamy may be strong with those born under this influence. For you want stability, but not the traditional way. You love changing up traditional things. So yes, you might want several wives or several husbands, you know. Yeah. Okay. Uranus in Sagittarius, which that's what I am. Yeah, in my chart. Yes, Uranus is in Sagittarius in my chart. And of course, you could do your own research on these things. You know, I also offer natal readings. If you're interested in that, I'm actually going to be offering a deal for this weekend only. You get a full natal reading for the price of the semi-natal natal reading, not naval, girl. Anyway, those of you who are born under Uranus and Sagittarius, you're optimistic, intuitive. Should I say very intuitive? You love traveling, and you like long journeys. Yes, you're very intuitive with spiritual energy all around. You're in tune with all things. Yes, honey. Like me, a lot of people say you're always paying attention to your surroundings, all that stuff, honey. You could feel that energy. And that's a Uranus and Sagittarius thing. If you do not know, Uranus deal with your subconscious mind. It deals with your intuition and honestly what's behind what you're really not saying. Kind of goes with Neptune and Pluto as well, because all these planets deal with interpersonal situations. But either way, you do not like being bounded by conservative or orthodox beliefs. Your way of communicating is by being upfront and direct, even if that means getting yourself into hot water. You're attracted to the occult, arts, and religious practices. You have a good understanding of educational theory. Okay, people that are born under this transit can be quite rebellious. They love science and philosophy. Sexually, they love good physical activity. I'm gonna leave it at that, okay? And let me move this candle out the way. I got a candle this way, honey. And a partner who can share their wanderlust. Uranus and Sagittarius people, as the Sagittarius, they love fun. They love, they love having fun. Sagittarius are very fun signs. They're the life of the party. Hello. So with the people with Uranus and Sagittarius, they're usually very lustful. They lust after a lot of stuff, and lustful is very different from flirtatious. Okay, it's difficult for them to find a committed relationship because they dislike restrictions. So they love commitments, but they don't like to be like, hey, I'm the only one you're going to be with. You're only going to come home to me every night. So they might be a little bit on the polygamy side as well. They might be a little bit on the, crazy outgoing, they got 7 girlfriends, a new girlfriend every week, a new boyfriend every week. Yeah. So there you go. Neptune. Now we're getting into Neptune. Yes. Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusion. And you see, I put planet twice. Girl, I told y'all. Told y'all 3 hours working on this, honey. Dreams, illusions, and psychic receptivity, but also with vagueness and uncertainty. Neptune was in Capricorn from 1984 to 1998. Now, I want you to note 1984 to 1998 is when Neptune was in Capricorn. Capricorn deals with Saturn energy. Okay, so catch this T. The merge of the two symbolizes idealism, which is Neptune, and old forms being broken, which is Capricorn, or manifestation of spirit into form and structure. Advanced souls were incarnated during the transit of Neptune in Capricorn. This group of individuals will be healers, educators, and spiritual leaders, as well as statesmen and stateswomen. And what I mean by this is the ones that are born and they grew into themselves. Now, each one of these things, Neptune and Capricorn, Neptune and Libra, because Neptune is only in so many zodiacs. They have their different interpretations of what this stuff means. But what I mean by that as well is some people are just what they is. They grew into themselves. They were encouraged by their family and friends to be who they are. And some people were forced to be things that they were not. So this is not going to apply to you, okay? Because you're still, that still comes off a little bit of a weakness. Tampered. You were tampered with. But those of you who were able to grow into yourself, this does apply to you. They love investigating things. Detailed work is what they excel at. They reflect on spiritual matters a lot. This is why we're seeing a lot, because you can do the age range 1984 to 1998. What age are they at this point in time in 2018? And you see who's behind the spiritual movement, honey. It's not the 40s, 50s, and 60 years old like that. And I'm not trying to cut in. Most of the people that are into this new, rethinking, reinventing, they're between 1984 and 1998. Hello, they're influenced by great masters of art. That's why Nicki Minaj and all these other artists, they put on this weird, funky costumes because people born between 1984 and 1998, Neptune and Capricorn, honey, they love that type of stuff. They are inspired by music and literature. Yes, motivational speaking may be their greatest position. Yes, they love speaking people, telling people, motivating people to do well or do good in their life. They love it. They love it. They love it. I'm one of those people, and I get excited. Look, I can't even help myself right now. I'm biting over my own words, honey. When Neptune and Capricorn people are in their weak aspects, honey, these individuals are very cynic or critics. They may be accused of not having enough compassion. Yes, secrets, deceit, and melancholy could be present. This is where the introduction of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and partying really got in. If you look at it, those of you who were born in 1984 to 1994, you were how old? 10? But how many of you guys are born in 1984? And even going into the people that were present during that time was introduced to drugs and alcohol, as well as heavy house partying. I could think of movies that came out in 1990, 1991, 1992 called House Party. I could think of all the party funny movies where kids were rebelling against their parents, sneaking into house parties, looking through windows while parents are partying in the 90s. Can we talk about it? Or should I say 1984 to 1998? Get into the tea. Now we're getting into Pluto and Scorpio. What I wanted to talk about. All that talking, I was waiting to get here. Pluto was in Scorpio from November 1983 to January 1995, and again April to November 1995. And it was also in Scorpio like in the 1700s, which you will look during the 1775, I believe, to like 1795 or something. You got to look that up, and you can see a lot of breakthroughs that were happening in sexuality as well as on Earth. Look it up, do your own research. Like I said before, we're talking about the 80s and the 90s generation in this video. Our planet went through some great changes and transformation during this time. There was earthquakes that happened. There was wildfires that happened. There was fights over certain things. Like I said, look up the history of November 1983 to January of 1994 in science, government and all that, and see what major transformations took place. We experienced an increase of interest in medicines, psychology, advanced healing, genetics, nuclear physics, the oil industry, and the occult. A lot of things are actually exposed during that time with the occult too. If you look at from 1985 to about 1995, you would see a lot of weird situations brought forward with the occult, and that is that Baphomet goat energy. But either way, I'll get up off of that for a minute. All that was hitting was explored and exposed during the 80s and the 90s. So all of the expression that you couldn't express yourself openly, in the 70s and the 60s, they would tell you to cover up your body. All this stuff came forward in the 80s, honey, and the 90s. This is why you start to see a lot of things change. Music, the way that people would get on stage with cone on their breasts and all the good stuff. Wearing panties on stages, bras on stages. Shout out to Madonna and Selena Quintanilla. Yes, honey. Bustier, honey. They used to get on the stage with the rhinestones on, honey, and working and twerking. Thank you, sisters. I love you, honey. Hello. But either way, powerful healers incarnated during this transit. Most people that were born between November 1983 to 1995 are involved with some type of healing, either doctors, either nursing, or actual herbal stuff. And I don't want to exclude my Reiki healers and people that are into energy healing. As well as advanced occultists. Once again, that strong hunger. This is the reincarnation of that occult energy that was suppressed for the previous 200 years before November of 1983. Do your research, like I said before. And those who will be making great improvements to what is listed above. So those who were born between November of 1983 to January of 1995 will be making improvements to the current medicine, the current level of psychology, advanced healing, genetics, nuclear physics, the oil industry, and the arts, the occult arts. Mark my word. And those already said that. These individuals are highly intelligent and love solving complex problems. They're great at also exploring things and investigating things. You can't hide nothing from these people, honey, because they will dig it up. Okay. Hello. Due to the sexual natures of the Scorpio, once again, excuse the DO, should it be DUE, to the sexual natures of the Scorpio and the exploring hidden things with Pluto, because Pluto takes the hidden and reveal them. Pluto takes what's beneath the surface and bring it to the top of the surface so it could be worked on. You will see a lot of freedom with expression sexually and lifestyles. You would see people openly express their sexuality and lifestyles with people that were born during this time. The open dialogue of what one desires sexually, you will see that openly expressed. That's where all these adult magazines came out, adult films being put in stores so that people could just access them, including libraries. Do your research. In fact, I think New York was one of the first states to start doing stuff like that. But don't quote me, or Chicago. It was one of New York, Chicago, and then other places followed. But you can do your research. Okay. Hello. The curious wanting to explore what's beneath the surface or taboo-ish. This is where the curious people came out. This is where you've seen a lot of the cross-dress, a lot of these heterosexual men who was curious about putting on bra and panties. This is where you saw a lot of people openly seeking certain sexual things. They were starting to say, well, I think I'm this. I think I'm bisexual. I think I'm transgender. This is when you start seeing an explosion of that. During this time, celebration of sexual diversity will be present. For those who were born between 1983 and January of 1995 will not have no problem, and also April to November 1995 will not have any problems expressing themselves sexually and or celebrating other people's sexual diversity. Okay. Pluto in Scorpio represents loss of innocence. There should be not an S there, but a C. Nothing is too innocent anymore with people that are born underneath this influence. Expressions of one's own sexual preference is a must for these individuals. They have no problem telling you they're bisexual, transgendered, or if they're totally into the same sex. They have no problem. And or saying that they're completely heterosexual. Not everybody who got Pluto and Scorpio is LGBT. I want to put that out there, but they definitely have some freaky sides to them. There's no way of getting around that. You can ask anybody who's into astrology, honey. Pluto and Scorpio people have a very great imagination when it comes to sexual activity. So to answer your question, there is not a gay agenda, but in fact, a divine intervention of freedom of expression, whether it's sexually, politically, or religiously. You are free to be who you are and have the right to like what you need. Shout out to RuPaul. I got that from the RuPaul song. But listen, I want to get into this because, like I said, this has been talked about a lot. Now, we did the video about the goat energy. We talked about, Baphomet. We talked about, the Capricornus energy being duality due to the Pluto influences. We talked about Pluto and Scorpio, which is the Baphomet, and that's why it's talked about so much right now. And like I said, going in from 1983 to 1995, how old are these people right now? And then you go on his YouTube videos and you see people expression, or even going into the people in the celebrity world who are expressing this goat energy. What years were they born in, or what year were they active in, meaning that they got their record deal? Because people, like I said before, the planets rule all things: political, science, entertainment, and your personal lives. Okay. So, like I said before, you're dealing with this duality. You're dealing with this what's beneath the surface being exposed. And that's why a lot of people are really uncomfortable. Disruption in people's way of thinking, or should I say disruption in societies, happen when people who have an old way of thinking is not open to change. And that's what I love about what is taking place now in the world, publicly and privately. And those of you who are not okay with that, I feel sorry for you, because you are going to be the few that's going to be sitting here preaching about there's a planet about to hit us, and you'll be the one preaching about all this stuff while everybody else is living their life the way they should be living it. But as you see right here, we talk about Pluto and Scorpio. We talk about that, the pan energy and the Baphomet energy and the openness in taking the wisdom and experiencing it through death and rebirth. That's what we're going through right now. The old ideas are being thrown out and the new ideas are coming in. Even going into when they spoke about the new way the world will be ushered into, what years were they talking about that in? Can we talk about it? Hello. Nobody can escape the divine intervention. No one can escape what the universe have in store for any of us. You cannot run from it. You cannot escape it. Going into Pluto being a dual planet, also representing 6, which is the 666, going into the black matter and or the worship of the Baphomet and or the Luciferian Masonic, however you want to go into that, girl. Get in and learn your T, okay? Get in and go into, listen, learn your T. Can we see it? Can we say that? Learn your T. Okay? Baphomet representing the 5-pointed star. Baphomet is the planet Pluto. Let's talk about it. 5-pointed star, freedom. 5 is freeing, is liberating. It's having freedom to express who and what you are. Can we talk about it? 5 also represents the spirit dominating all the other elements, or should I say, all the other elements coming into the spirit. Can we talk about it? It represents the 5 elements being represented to each other. If you actually look up Pluto and Scorpio generation, you will actually see that this may be the only generation that will be able to liberate themselves or free themselves from any past sexual and emotional traumas that were brought on by previous generations. This is the only generation that's coming out, that's expressing themselves and saying, I was touched. I wasn't touched. That's what I like. That's what I don't like. Everybody else wants to keep it in the closet. Look at these people born in the 60s and 70s, and I won't go into it, that are accusing a celebrity of putting date rape stuff in a drinks and stuff. What years were these people born in? You know what I mean? I mean, you got to get down to the bottom of this stuff, honey. What's really going on? Ultimately, Pluto in Scorpio and that generation will usher in, honey. And I want to say that again, it will usher in a divine order between mind and spirit. There's no more hiding. There's no more secrets. Even for those of you out there who want to live in a closet, and that's fine. Who, you like pizza, but you act like you don't. Those of you who say, I like that, but I really don't. Honey, it's all coming to the light. It's all going to come to light. Because even going into, Scorpio and, in Pluto and Scorpio is not current, but the people that were born under that is current. They're currently in their 20s and 30s. And I don't know where you live at, but where I live at, they said the average person is 30 years old. So at least 55% of people in my city were born under this. But going into that, like I said, this is coming to the light. Things are, things that were hid or hidden, it's being exposed. And like I said, people are trying to act like that's not my thing. That's not my thing. And yeah, now we're seeing all these trans coming out, all these gays coming out. Well, honey, you were trying to repress it because a lot of y'all were DL, and we're going to do some history on that too. And I want to do that right now. Can we get into that? Because I want to get into that right now. I want to get into the history of, and shout out to this group right here, Violence Against the LGBT Community in the Middle East. Okay, shout out to this. We're going to speak about the ancient history of about homosexuals, and then we're going to also, I'm going to kind of go a little bit into things that were implemented during 1984 and up to 1995. And this might be a little touchy for some people, but I want you to understand that all things are influenced by planetary energy, whether you choose to acknowledge that or not. Hell, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't hear y'all calling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday no other thing. You're not calling Monday Twig. You're not saying today is Brick Day. You're not saying happy Wig Day. What you say, happy Fry, right? Freya Day. Who? Venus. Exactly. So you acknowledge that. And you acknowledge when there's a full moon and also the good tea, but you don't acknowledge that all this is planetary energy. I know that's right. Okay. So, of course, we're going to start with the Islamic uh, teachings. The Middle East, of course, that is the most controversial area when you talk about gay history and gay people. But as you see right here, pre-Islam, Middle East, ancient Middle East, homosexuality in the Middle East was traced back to the early civilization during the Mesopotamian civilization. A lot of us that are actually incarnated in this life right now, you know, newly incarnated, should I say, we'll say 1977 to now. Not a lot of us, but some of us have, most of us have influences from Mesopotamia, if you believe in past life incarnations. We have influences from Mesopotamia. We have connections, and if not directly, you've had a life back there, honey, a life or two. But anyway, Mesopotamia epic of Gilgamesh. Yes, honey, come on, Gilgamesh. Yes, have been said to contain some of the earliest written accounts of fictional homosexuality between two males. Now, they say fictional, Miss Thing. Go ahead and say fictional all day long, honey. Hello. Accounts of prostitution temples that have made male servants serve other males, although were stigmatized. Yeah, even currently right now, you go down to the, Vatican cities and stuff, during Christmas holidays, the Pope don't call in females to entertain him. Who and what he call in are male ballet dancers. They got these tights on and girl, they sweating, girl, they over there swinging on poles and got their little leotards on, Miss Thing. Hello. I don't know what T you on. I don't know what world you live in, honey, but I know where I live at, honey. Okay. Ancient Egyptians literature documents the first example of royal homosexuality between Pharaoh Pepi II and his general Sisan. I know I'm probably saying that wrong, but yeah, and that's just one of the documents, and it says ancient Egyptian. Hello, also the story of David and Jonathan in the Hebrew Bible also featured stories of homosexuality. Yeah, the story of David and Jonathan. You read that right. The story of David and Jonathan. Shout out to my Christians out there. Hey, sis. I see you, honey. Hey, honey. How you doing? Okay, now once Islam has arrived in the Middle East, it did not specific specify homosexuality as sexual identity. In fact, even in the Bible, it kind of breaks that down that, homosexuality and sexual identity is two different things. Even going into how the current world view sexuality, they consider sexuality and sexual identity to be two different things. That's why you have so-called straight men that are into so-called gay men. And I say so-called because I don't know what that is, but only they can express that. I can't tell you what that is, honey. It is what it is. Shout out to all my people out there. I love all my sexually experienced people, heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, and curious, okay? Because transsexual is not a part of the sexual identity, if you didn't know that, or a part of sexual orientation. It's actually considered sexual identity, as you would say you're male or female. Hello! But anyway, depending on whether the person was the giver or the receiver, can we talk about it? Because there's some practices in the Middle East to this day, and I won't really go into that because it's not really my business. Shout out to my Middle Eastern people out there, and those of you who go to these Middle Eastern countries. I won't say no names because I'm trying to go to these countries, and I want them saying access denied because I seen your YouTube video where you were going in on us, sis. So I don't want no problems out there with my Middle Eastern people. Shout out to the ones out there who paid for my laptop, hey, and my car. Yes, shout out to you all. No, it wasn't my car. I'm sorry. American got my car. But you know what I'm saying. But there's a difference between passive and aggressive homosexuality, and they're not really into the passive stuff. Maybe I'm saying it the opposite because I think someone said they were passive. Anyway, male/male penetration was used to describe men's rivals as weak. Yeah. This is what they would do. They would actually penetrate their enemy to prove that they were less of a man. Yeah, those who took it was less of a man. So they would actually rape. This is where we talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. These males were actually rape other males to prove to them that they are weaker than them. And even going into the prison system, no tea, no shade, but that's what they do in prison too. Your husbands and boyfriends go to prison, no tea, no shade out there, not trying to disrespect any of my, people out there, but they go to prison and they're either giving it or they're taking it. And whatever they do determine, what they're about. Let's talk about it, honey. Hello? The people of Lot, now we talking, was a phrase used to describe pederasts, men who like boys. Now, you know about Lot. You know about Lot? The story of Sodom and Gomorrah was what? Hello. It was about pederasts, men who liked boys. And that's what the word FAG come from. It's an older man who likes younger boys. If you don't know that, I advise you to do your research. So everybody who's LGBT is not the F word. Now, of course, some of you are not wise. You don't read the dictionary. You don't even know any history about any words you use. You just use the words because you heard somebody else say it, which is kind of what we deal with, with a lot of these people that are, whatever you call them. Anyway, same-sex relations were prevalent in Muslim societies in the Ottoman Empire. Do your research. Yeah, this is before you were even thought of, honey. Your mama too, and your daddy, and your granny, honey, and your granny's granny. Hello. In Muslim civilization, mutual erotic attraction was a natural emotion and did not come with any feelings of guilt or shame. I wonder who introduced guilt and shame on same-sex erotic attractions. I wonder who introduced that to these worlds. No shade. Was it the same people that messed up medicine and current astrology in ways of nature and says it's abomination to the Most High? I mean, I want to know. No tea, no shade. But let's get into the tea. Okay. Although natural emotions could not be discussed and a phenomena could not even be acknowledged. This is where the DL epidemic comes from. Y'all think the DL epidemic is new? I'm telling y'all now. DL, Miss Thing. No, mama. Yeah. Some of y'all great-great-grandfathers was DL, honey, because he couldn't openly say what he was into. And some of y'all grandmothers, too. I can't forget my lesbian sisters out there. Some of y'all grandmothers was in it with it, too. Shout out to my LGBT. I love you, honey. Okay. Ottoman Empire had strict laws against same-sex relationships, but were rarely enforced. I'm like spinning my thumb. You know what they call that? I'm like twiddling my thumb when it says Ottoman Empire had strict laws. Oh no. But they said, what the hell? Yes. Shout out to the Ottoman Empire, honey. I got a girl. Anyway. So something else I want to bring up that kind of happened during 1984. And of course, they said Pluto got into Pluto went into Scorpio in November. I think it's about November the 9th, 1984. So this was about May, June, July, August, September, October, November. This is about 6 months, 6 months before. Yeah. Yeah, sure. And remember, like I said, when Pluto was in Scorpio, the last time, it actually influenced the science community on a deep level. A lot of biochemists and alchemists was doing a thing back then. Look it up. So Robert Gallo, yes, honey, he actually published a series of 4 papers in scientific journal called Science, demonstrating the retrovirus they had isolated called HTLV3, in the belief that the virus was related to leukemia viruses of Gale's earlier work and was the cause of AIDS. Now, this gets a little tricky here. I won't go into this. You do your own research on when AIDS came about and so-called it was discovered and when they implemented it. But I will say, this man right here, Miss Thing. Okay, girl, you want to see what planets were in during March the 23rd, 1937. You go and do your tea, honey, and look into that. But you know what I want to kind of do? I want to kind of put, Rincey said that in April of 1984, so this is before he came public, Dr. Robert Gallo filed in the United States of America a patent application for his invention, the AIDS virus. So he isolated it. That means he created it and kept it in quarantine. I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm curious, honey. I don't know how YouTube's going to make this video, so I want to keep it cute. When a patent is filed and approved as Dr. Gallo's was, anyone who uses the product or invention owes a royalty payment for the inventor, holding the intellectual property laws to their fullest interpretation. One must only wonder why Dr. Gallo has filed yet a lawsuit seeking to recover damages from the uses of his invention. As odd as his scenario may sound, it bears need for additional scrutiny. Yes. Do your research. And the AIDS virus affected primarily the LGBT community. Now, though it was targeted for the Haitian immigrants, I said that right, the Haitian immigrants and the LGBT community, it then leaked out into everybody who participated in the Pluto and Scorpio energy. So going into that, and I hope you understand everything that I'm saying, because I'm not about to break that down. I need you to put that in your own common sense. It affected these people to slow down certain things, to reintroduce certain things. And like I said before, I want to keep it cute and light, because I know that YouTube get into this stuff and say, we can do it. You can't do that. You can't say that. We're not doing this. We're going to take it down so no one can see it. Well, that's fine. But I'm just saying, I'm putting out there, you can Google Roberto. Okay, excuse me. His name is not Roberto. It's Robert Charles Gallo. Okay, and see what he's about. This thing. And y'all want to talk about gay people. If it wasn't for the gay people, we wouldn't have AIDS. If it wasn't for your DL daddy, there wouldn't be AIDS there. Anyway, going into the history of CNN. Well, let's go back before this. Going into the history of homosexuality, because they say that homosexuality is not African. Well, this article by Sylvia Tamale. Oh, I love me some tamales, honey. Hello. It talks about homosexuality being in Africa before, years. It talks about a whole bunch of history in the African continent. It talks about this, honey. It talks about the tribes of people. It talks about the tribe of people, and I encourage you. And you see what it says right here. Holobongo among the Zulu. Come on, honey. All these black people say, I'm Zulu, I'm Zulu, I'm Zulu. Okay. I know that's right, but you anti-homo. I know that's right, Miss Thing. Sure. Yes. But I encourage you to do your research on this. It says many African societies, same-sex sexuality was also believed to be a source of magical powers to guarantee bountiful crops and abundant hunting, good health, and to ward off evil spirits. Isn't it weird how when certain people got this information, they start saying that same-sex actually bring in evil spirits? Yeah. When did that get implemented? Who taught us about that? Right. Right. In Angola and Namibia, for instance, a cast of male diviners known as the Javanda and the Chabandos and the Kambanda and the Gangas and the Kimbamba were believed to carry powerful female spirits that they would pass on a fellow man through anal sex. And I want you to look up these ancient tribes and see how long ago was this? Was this just 20 years ago? Was this 1995 when they start showing these cartoons to make the quote unquote gay agenda? Or were they doing this before TV was even invented or before okay. Woo. Okay, I'm trying. Woo, God. Woo, honey. Even today, marriages between women for productivity, economic, and diplomatic reasons still exist among the Nandi and Kisi of Kenya. In the leg bowl of Nigeria. Yes, honey. Yeah. Shout out to my Nigerians out there. Oh, one of my major supporters are from Nigeria. Love Nigerians, honey. Hey, honey. Hello. And the Noor of Sudan and the Korea of Tanzania. I gotta go out there to Africa. I need to go out there to Madagascar. I need to go out there to Mauritania, Mali, Bali, and Tanzania. Ooh, I need to go out there to Cape Verde too, honey. You gonna take me out there, Nikki? Nikki, girl, you gonna take me out there, Miss Thing? Hello! Like everyone around the world, anal intercourse between married opposite sex partners to avoid pregnancy was historically practiced by many Africans before the invention of modern contraceptive methods. So once again, going into, yeah, that's new. That's new. Our parents wasn't doing that. You don't know what your parents are doing, Miss Thing. Girl, bye. I met a man, I won't go into much, who was born in 1939. And he told me what he was doing in the 40s and 50s and 60s to some of y'all grandmamas. And I won't even say where he's from because y'all might know who I'm talking about. But I said, I want to get an interview. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if he's going to do a live interview on this. Because I said, see what I mean? And they got video footage of like 1950s and 60s of these grown men, which probably some of y'all daddies might be in this footage, no tea, no shade, of them going into the bathrooms in the Midwest and down south and having their little sexual fun with these men. They were doing it in secrecy. But y'all already talk about them, the gay, like it's gay agenda. Yeah. They make the new gay people now because they they never been here before. We ain't never seen that nasty shit. And it's like, okay, honey. Some of y'all look like your daddy. No, let me stop. Woo! Now let's fast forward, and I want you to look up on the history of the LGBT community. Yeah, you can look it up. Yeah, it goes back hundreds of years ago. Yes, something was documented in the 1700s about when the Europeans went over there to Africa and what they saw. They saw men, quote unquote, men dressed as women, and they couldn't tell them apart. They couldn't tell the men from the women apart. And I'm not cutting in. That's why there's a black commentator out there named Tamia. I won't say his name. But he was actually speaking about, some black trans or black men look like black women in drag. And I'm just like, what? Excuse me? But maybe they're referencing to what the Europeans said when they got to Africa, where they couldn't tell the black trans from the black woman. I don't know what he's trying to say, but I said, girl, what? Excuse me? How dare you? How dare you insult my sisters and say they look like men? Girl, or how dare you compliment my trans sisters and say they look like your mothers? Hello. Anyway, in 1924, the Society of Human Rights is founded by Henry Gerber in Chicago. It was the first documented gay rights organization. Yay! Shout out to the Society of the Human Rights, founded by Henry Gerber in Chicago. Yeah, shout out to my people out there in Chicago, honey. Yes, Mimi Plastique. Yes, honey, Frenchie C, Miss Sing. Hi, Cantania. Yes, honey, what's the other girl's name? Raina Valentino. She passed on. Rest in peace. And what's the other girl? What's the other girl, honey? I can't remember her name. She's into dominatrix and stuff, honey. Hello! 1950, the Madachine Society is formed by an activist, Harry Hare, and is one of the first sustained gay rights groups in America. United States of America, honey. The society focused on social acceptance and other support for homosexuals. 1950, how many of y'all were born in 1950s, or you even existed in 1950s? Or better yet, 1924. I'm curious to know. With all these gay agenda, can you let me know when you existed, when you were created? Hello, when you were born? Were you alive during that time? What were you doing? April 1952, because they got to categorize everything that doesn't look like a man or sound or look like a woman and doesn't want to be with something that look like a man or look like a woman. Okay, they gotta say you're crazy and stuff, honey. April 1952, the American Psychiatric Association's diagnostic manual lists homosexuality as a sociopathic personality disturbance. Excuse me? American Psychiatric Association. Excuse me, Miss Thing? You got your nerve, honey. A woman listen to what a man say and girl, what you call that? And the man ain't even your husband, honey. It's a man that you just met at a gas station 2 weeks ago and you popped up pregnant by him. Miss Thing Girl, don't do me like that. April 27, 1953, President Dwight Eisenhower signs an executive order that bans homosexuals from working for the federal government, say they are a security risk. That is so funny, Mr. Dwight D. Eisenhower, because we heard a lot of secrets about you, Miss Thing. Okay. Girl, you don't want them working for the government because they were gonna these DL man, honey. I guess they said what 1953. I guess 2018. You still got this epidemic going on. DL men don't want to support the LGBT. I know that's right. You living too open. I'm not like that. That's fine, sis. Stay your ass in that shadow, honey. And when we get those rights, don't come marching forward and say, I'm a part of that community too. Because you weren't saying that, sis, when we were out here struggling and fighting to get that tea, Miss Thing. Anyway, September 1955, the first known lesbian rights organization in the United States forms in San Francisco. Daughters of Bilitis. I know that's right, DOB. Come on. They host private social functions, fearing police raids, threats of violence, and discrimination in bars and clubs. I know that's right. See what I mean right there? See, that's what, listen, my lesbian sisters out there, woo! Shout out to the Dykes on Bikes organization. Girl, I got so much love for my homosexual brothers and sisters, my homosexual brothers, my lesbian sisters, and my transgender brothers and sisters. I have so much love for y'all, honey. So strong, honey. Trust when I tell you that, to go outside and do what you do and fight and go to work every day and just be faced with the ignorance that you see, girl. Because it makes me want to throw up sometimes. But see, I don't got to pay attention to that because, you're in my world if I allow you in it. Just because we in the same space together don't mean, girl, that you're affecting me in any way, shape, or form. Miss Thing. Okay, hello. Okay, yeah, okay. July 1961, Illinois became the first state to decriminalize homosexuality by repealing their sodomy law. So Illinois was the first state to say that homosexuality was legal then, basically, right? Shout out to Illinois. Yes, July 1961. Listen, Illinois, I don't know what's going on with y'all now, but I'm proud of y'all. Ooh, this is gonna get me emotional right here. This is really, whew, this is really something for me. September 11, 1961, the first U.S. televised documentary about homosexuality airs on a local station in California. Well, they said the homosexuality agenda came about in the 90s and the millennium. Well, it says right here that the first U.S. televised documentary about homosexuality started in 1961. So what about you guys that are born in the 60s, late 60s, and the early 70s, and you say you never heard of homosexuality? Maybe you're not from California, honey. Shout out to California for being so open. I love you, honey. Thank you, honey. You allowed me to get my money from McDonald's. Ow! June 28, 1969, police raid the Stonewall Inn in New York City. Protests and demonstrations began, and it later becomes known as the impetus for gay civil rights movement in the United States. 1969, is it Sylvia Guerrero? Sylvia, honey. Oh, she sends out to me, honey. Yes, honey. Marsha P. Johnson, honey. I believe she was out there fighting. And I think Graham Adams said that one of her friends, Miss Kennedy, right? Miss Kennedy was out there in the Stonewall protesting for the rights. In 1969, yet again, you never heard about the gay, quote unquote, agenda. Girl, it's because your parents and you were brainwashed. It's not thinking it existed because you were in your own little world, which, like I said before, now people are concerned about other people. But back in the 60s and 70s, y'all wasn't too concerned about what Tom did to Harry or what Mary did to Jane. Y'all were not too concerned about that. Well, as long as it's not in my house, I'm not concerned. But something happened. I want to say in the 80s, Miss Thing, y'all decided to check on people's door. Knock, knock, knock. Who's in there? There's a man? Oh my God, let me call the police. Knock, knock. Who's there? What? You look different. What's going on, sis? Knock, knock, knock. Excuse me. What's going on in this house? Ah. And that's why the home structure fell apart. It wasn't the home structure fell apart because homosexuality got introduced. It's because y'all stop caring about your own damn house and start worrying about the next person. That's what really is going on. That's what all these stories are telling me in the 60s. This when y'all really stop paying attention to your damn selves. Then you start worrying about Tom Dick. Girl, 1969, the Los Angeles Advocate, founded in 1967, was renamed The Advocate. Come on, The Advocate. I love that magazine. One of my ex-boyfriends was featured in that magazine. Yeah, honey. We had a great love affair for about 6 months. Yeah. Yeah, I was, I was a little underage, but um, we didn't have no intimate relationships. It was more of talking about what he was going to do for me when I got out there to LA. And I said, oh my God, that's so, oh yeah, that was one of my first love relationships. Anyway, it is considered the oldest continuing LGBT publication that began as a newsletter published by the activist group Personal Rights in Defense and Education, also known as Pride. Come on, Pride. Yay! Shout out to the Advocate magazine, honey, who's still pushing through. Love ya. June 28, 1970. Now we getting heavy, girl. Community members in New York City marched through the local streets to recognize the 1-year anniversary of the Stonewall riots. Come on, honey. This event is named Christopher Street Liberation Day. Yeah, girl, we know about Christopher Street, girl. I think Sister Tangling says she's going to take me back to the Christopher Street. We're going to vogue it out, honey. Oh! And now it's considered the first gay pride. Oh, this is just really, this is my first time reading this too. I wanted to read this with y'all. 1973, Lambda Legal became the first legal organization established to fight for the equal rights of gays and lesbians. Lambda also becomes their own first client after being denied nonprofit status. The New York Supreme Court eventually rules that Lambda Legal can exist as a nonprofit. Thank you, Lambda, for fighting for those rights, honey. Yes, Maryland, January 1st, 1973. What was y'all doing out there? 1973, girl. My friend, girl, she was like almost a year old. Hey, Lachey. Yes, honey. Maryland becomes the first state to statutorily ban same-sex marriage. Oh, hell no. What? I'm not going to Maryland. Miss Thing, y'all can meet me somewhere else if you live in Maryland. We're not going there. Girl, bye. What? Girl, bye. That ain't that damn long ago. Girl, that's 47 years ago. You changed your mind, what? Because you wanted that tax dollar. Anyway, March 26, 1973, the first meeting of parents and friends of gays, which goes natural as parents, family. Oh, PFLAG. Shout out to the PFLAG organization. Yes, when I first started transitioning, that was the first organization I reached out to, and they linked me to some phenomenal trans women. Some of them were authors, Miss St. James, honey. You got the teacher, oh God, in Merced, I can't remember her name, the first sex change who was discriminated against, honey. Oh my God, I miss my people. I gotta go visit PFLAG again, honey. I love PFLAG, honey. December 15, 1973, by a vote of 5,854 to 3,810, the American Psychiatric Association removes homosexuality from its list of mental disorders in the DSM-2 Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. I know that's right, honey. Something must have happened. I'm gonna have to look up the political dates on December 15, 1973, because I want to see why you did that on that day. Kathy Kozolchenko became the first openly LGBT American elected to any public office when she wins a seat on the Ann Arbor, Michigan City Council. Shout out to Miss Kathy Kozolchenko, honey. I'm gonna have to look her up. Shout out to you for openly running for any type of political figure in the state of Michigan in 1974, sister. I love you, honey. Hello! 1974, Elaine Noble is the first openly gay candidate elected to a state office when she is elected to the Massachusetts State Legislature. Shout out to Elaine Noble, honey, for being open to express yourself and not really give a damn. Whew, I wish I could hug Kathy and Elaine, honey. January 14, 1974, the first federal gay rights bill is introduced to address discrimination based on sexual orientation. The bill later goes into judiciary committee, but is never brought for consideration. Oh, Oh, really? Oh, because that's the year of the TVs and stuff, honey. Yes. 1974, that's the year of the TVs. And, shout out to my people out there in New York and Connecticut and in Philly. They said they were getting the TVs on the corners and stuff in the meat district and stuff. Girl, I heard so many stories about the 70s from New York, honey. My clients were like, girl, yeah, I met this one. And I don't know if it was a man or a woman. She had some great muscles. I went back to my hotel and she was able to lift me up. And when I found out it was really a man, I was like, oh, hell no. I grabbed my stuff and I ran down. I was gagging, honey. Shout out to that girl, honey. Anyway, March 1974, a technical sergeant, Leonard P. Matlovic, reveals his sexual orientation to his commanding officer and is forcibly discharged from the Air Force 6 months later. Oh, Matlovic is a Vietnam War veteran and was awarded both the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star. In 1980, the Court of Appeals rules that the dismissal was improper. Matlovic is awarded his back pay and retroactive promotion. Shout out to Sergeant Leonard P. Matlovic. You did a lot, honey. You served your country, honey. And a lot of these heterosexual people don't give a damn about you. And you sacrifice your life. Shout out to you, honey. Shout out to all my LGBT veterans, honey, who fought, honey. Purple Heart and Bronze Star, y'all. That's some deep stuff right there. I salute you, Technical Sergeant Leonard P. Matlovic, and I send you love and blessings if you're still alive. I don't know if you are or not, but either way, honey, thank you, honey, for being yourself and changing these people's mind. And to the persons, to your commanding officer who discharged you, honey, that's a whole nother story. And I'm gonna look that story up because we all know that there's some teas going on with that too. Because usually when you hate the gays, your kids come out and be that. Your grandkids come out and something crazy go down. That's what y'all get now. Girl, the universe pull it out to the light. This thing, you trying it. That's why all these kids grew out in the 1980s. Hello, that's why the 1980s, girl, they came out, they got y'all right together. 1980 to 1990, girl, your kids coming out and they get hello. 1976, after undergoing gender reassignment surgery, 1975, ophthalmologist. I think that's surgeon. Oh, girl, I don't even know what the hell it is. Is that of the eyes, ears, and throat? Is that of the eyes? Ophthalmologist. I gotta look that up, honey. I know it's something. And the professional tennis player Renee Richards is banned from competing in the Women's USA Open because of her woman-born women. Oh, Richards challenged the decision 1977. The New York Supreme Court rules in her favor. That's right. Richards competes in 1970 U.S. Open, but it's defeated in the first round by Virginia Wade. Girl, Virginia Wade. Let me watch my mouth because I don't know what I get. Ow! Come on now, listen, Renee Richards, we love you, girl. Thank you for fighting that fight, Miss Thing. Come on, 1977 to 1981, Billy Crystal plays one of the first openly gay characters in a recurrent role on a prime TV show called Soap. I know that's right, Billy Crystal. How you doing? January 9th, 1978, Harvey Milk is inaugurated at San Francisco City. Wait a minute. Why the hell they got a Harvey Milk school in New York then and not in California? I know people that went to Harvey Milk High School, right? Is it Harvey Milk High School? Shout out to y'all out there in New York, honey. I think it's in Manhattan. I'm not too sure. Is the first openly gay man to be elected to a political office in California. November, Milk and Mayor George Moscone are murdered by Dan what? Who had recently resigned from his San Francisco board position and wanted Moscone to reappoint him. White later served just over 5 years in prison for voluntary manslaughter. Oh, you Dan. Ooh, you Woo, Dan, honey. I watched the movie about Harvey Milk, but I forgot about that. They was murdered by I hope he's burning. I hope he's burning somewhere. And I hope he's burning. I hope he's feeling something. I hope he's waking up and he's redoing the same shit he did before he went to bed. Hello! Inspired, 1978, inspired by Milk to develop a symbol of pride and hope for the LGBT community, Gilbert Baker designs and stitched together the first rainbow flag. Shout out to Gilbert Baker for designing the rainbow flag and allowing people of the LGBT community to use the flag as a symbol of freedom. Although people say that you're copying the Bible because the Lord gave the rainbow. And it's like, if you even knew what the rainbow meant, what the colors mean of the rainbow, then you would be either a witch or you would be a homosexual yourself. Now, so I say y'all need to get into that. Well, the Bible says that God gave the rainbow so that Noah will know that God won't destroy the earth again. Well, the colors in those Bibles mean something, honey. If you took my Bible study class, you would know what those colors mean, Miss Thing, because we give out the scriptures for it, honey. So, like I said, you would be a witch or you would be a homosexual yourself, Miss Thing. Back it on up. Hello. October the 14th, 1979, the first National March on Washington for lesbian and gay rights takes place. It draws an estimate 75,000, 125,000 individuals marching for LGBT rights. In 1979, how old were y'all when they were marching for the LGBT rights? So they've been fighting for the visibility of LGBT since the 60s. Girl, Miss Thing, they've been fighting and they won. Unity creates power. Hello. March 2nd, 1982, Wisconsin becomes the first state to outlaw discrimination based on sexual orientation. Oh, Wisconsin, yeah, there's a lot of weird people over there too. I mean, no tea, no shade, but we all know about Milwaukee. There's some teas over there, honey. We ain't even gonna go into that. We know what that do over there like that, though, honey. Anyway, 1983, Lambda Legal wins people versus West 12 Tenants Corp, the first HIV/AIDS discrimination lawsuit. Neighbors attempted to evict Dr. Joseph Sonabin from the building because he was treating HIV positive patients. I know that's right. November 30th, 1993, President Bill Clinton signs a military policy directive that prohibits openly gay and lesbian Americans from serving in the military. Bill Clinton. But also prohibits the harassment of closeted homosexuals. This policy was known as Don't Ask, No Tell. So that means if a homosexual is closeted, he could join the army. Yeah, if you asked them, then you will be kicked out. Well, at least he was supporting some members of the LGBT. Girl, because the DL closet cases are still homosexuals. So shout out to you, Bill Clinton. I will keep my mouth closed because we all know what the tea is with that too. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed, honey, because it's not my business and it's not no one else's business because we wasn't in the room, sonny. Hello. But November 1995, the Hate Crime Sentencing Enhancement Act goes into effect as part of the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994. The law allows a judge to impose harsher sentences if there's evidence showing that a victim was selected because of the actual or perceived race, color, religion, national. You know what? See right here? Hello. So this act was enforced and they included discrimination against race, color, religion, national origin, ethnicity, gender, disability, or sexual orientation of any person. You think they group the sexual orientation there or did they group the other stuff in there? Can we talk about it? But y'all out here, I'm discriminated against for being a black woman, but I don't care for the gays. Excuse me? The Hate Crimes and Sentencing Enhancement Act also was suited for you too, honey. Get suited and booted or keep getting lost because you ignorant as hell. Hello! September 21st, 1996, President Clinton signs the Defense of Marriage Act, banning federal recognition of same-sex marriage and defining marriage as a legal union between one man and one woman as a husband and a wife. What? September 21st. That's kind of crazy. On the equinox? Bruh. On the fall equinox? What spirits were you consulting with? I know. There's two of them that come to mind right now. What the hell were you doing? What planet were you? Girl. So I believe that marriage is between one man and one woman as a husband is you. Well, if that's where y'all got that from, y'all keep repeating that shit. And some of y'all, listen, marriages between a man and a woman have been for how many years? And how is the divorce rate? Okay, girl, Miss Thing, I can't stand y'all. Oh, girl, I can't stand y'all. I can't stand people that are nosy. Worried about everybody else. Worried about what you into and what you don't like, what you like. Girl, what about your damn household? That's why y'all divorcing now. Because once again, y'all checking on the neighbor. Is that a man? Is that a woman? Is that what they like? What you do, honey? And then while y'all doing that, you got the wife curious about if it's a lesbian woman. Oh, baby, how you doing? If it's a trans woman or a gay man, your husband is checking on them. No tea, no shade. But that's really how I get down. That's what I said, honey. I'm not into that. No, thank you, honey. Girl, that's why I don't talk to my neighbors. I keep my I keep to myself, girl, because people start, I'm proud of who I am, what I am, and I don't just come out and say it, but I don't mind saying I am a transgender woman. Uh-huh. A woman of a different persuasion. And trust me, you never had anything like this, daddy. Hello. That's why I love when they say, you don't like me? Is it something? No, no, honey. I don't think you're ready for this over here, though, honey. It's like a box full of Cheez-Its, honey. You never know what you're going to get when you open that box. The fun don't stop. Okay. December the 3rd, 1996 says Hawaii Judge Chang rules that the state does not have a legal right to deprive same-sex couples of the right to marry, making Hawaii the first state recognized that gay and lesbian couples are entitled to the same privileges as heterosexual married couples. Shout out to Hawaii. Y'all always have some good sense, honey. Shout out to the kings and the kings of Hawaii before Hawaii became a part of the civilization, the island of America. Shout out to the Mahus out there in Hawaii. Yes, girl, my sister out there, Nain. Hello, Nain. How you doing, girl? Yes, I'm going to hit her up, girl. She Vietnamese and Hawaiian, honey. Shout out to all my islanders out there. Yes, some of y'all don't like the girls, but a lot of y'all don't really care. You care about the girls, so you don't really girl, I gotta go out there because I heard the guys out there, they love them some girls. Hello. Yes. Comedian Ellen DeGeneres, they've been coming for her, girl. She came out and said, I'm gay. Shout out to Ellen. Ellen, yes. The queen of all the queens, including the queen witches. Woo! Anybody who's LGBT and a witch, I love. Come on, Ellen, girl, Miss Thing. I'm looking at you, honey. Don't you come for me, honey. April 30, 1997, DeGeneres character Ellen Morgan on her self-titled TV series Ellen becomes the first leading character to come out on a primetime network television show. Oh, Ellen, can you tell us your secrets, honey? How you looking so young in your 60s? Maybe you can teach these hating ass people how to look so good. It's called being open with yourself, honey. Hello! 1998, Martin Luther King Jr.'s widow, Coretta Scott King, a Black woman, love her, asked the civil rights community to help in effort to extinguish homophobia. Coretta Scott King, shout out to you, girl. Yes, she's passed on. I know that. Rest in peace, Coretta Scott King, and all the kings out there, and all my other fellow highly people. A Black woman. It's to see a Black woman so open and fighting for the rights of all people. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, because I know it's more than y'all. It's more than just her. But shout out to y'all, heterosexual women out there, and fighting for the rights of the LGBT community, and standing there and holding hands and saying we're in this together. And even shout out to Atlanta. I don't think they're going to talk about it here, but Atlanta actually protested when they were being homophobic down there in Atlanta. And this is in the 90s. The Black people actually got out there and said homophobia is racism. Ow! Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Shout out to my Blacks out there that was in that, honey. You look at the video, you see the footage of all of them, the man, woman, boys, and girls, Black people out here protesting with the homosexuals, saying that if you don't like the gays, then you don't like my Black ass. And that's what I'm talking about, honey. Ignorance is ignorance, honey. Racism, homosexuality, and xenophobia, honey. Let's talk about it. Homophobia and xenophobia. There you go. October 6th and 7th, 1998, Matthew Shepard is tied to a fence beating near Laramie, Wyoming. He's eventually found by cyclists who initially mistaked him for a scarecrow. He later dies due to injuries sustained in his beating. Now, there's a lot of mix-ups going on, about that story, and none of us was there. A lot of stories are hearsay, and unfortunately, when things happen to the LGBT community, people try to throw the story out of the window, and they make excuses like, well, if it was a transgender, well, maybe she tricked him, maybe she should have told him what she was. There's a lot of stories of women out here telling men what they are, trans women, and they're still being attacked. Even going into gay men, they don't talk about that either. There's a lot of gay men that's been murdered for being gay that were set up. So regardless of what the story is about that situation, the fact still is that is a gay man that was murdered, and we don't know how it happened. How? Because I will defend you too. If you died, honey, and people say, well, I wouldn't be protesting because he has. I don't give a damn, honey. one less LGBT person, and they already doesn't count up for less than 2% of the damn population, Miss Thing. But there's a gay agenda. Girl, bye. You must know something that we don't. October 9, 1998, Russell Henderson and Aaron McKinney from Laramie, Wyoming make their first court appearance after being arrested for the attempted murder of Shepard. Eventually, they each received 2 life sentences for killing Shepard. So I would love to get a story from these people, because people are saying that it was a drug situation. But I would love to get a story from Russell Henderson and Aaron McKinney. Did they set him up? Was one of these people Matthew's secret lover? Did he say that? I mean, I don't know what it was, but obviously it's something with anti-gay. That's why it's here. I'm just saying. So please, I would love to see some interviews with Russell Henderson and Aaron McKinney, or maybe I got to fly my ass out there to Laramie, Wyoming, and see if I get an interview from them myself, because I want to know. I want to go to the horses. Please, that's an insult. I want to go to the Sasquatches and wild beast, honey, and get an interview, get some word from them, honey. Sociopath, disconnected from other people's feelings, honey, taking someone else's life because you're not happy or you want some drugs. I don't care what the story is, honey. Take somebody else's life. Boom, bitch. April 26, 2000, Vermont becomes the first state to legalize civil unions between same-sex couples. Come on, Vermont. Yes, come on for civil unions, honey. Domesticated partnership, is that what that is? Shout out to Vermont. June 2003, the U.S. Supreme Court strikes down the homosexual conduct law, which discriminalizes same-sex sexual conduct. Yes, wow, they really took that law away in 2003. So before 2003, it was really illegal to have a same-sex experience. They would arrest you for it. That's crazy. With their opinion in Lawrence versus Texas, the decision also reverses Bowers versus Hardwick. In 1986, U.S. Supreme Court ruling to upheld Georgia's sodomy law. Yeah, Georgia, y'all haters. May 17, 2004, the first legal same-sex marriage in the United States take place in Massachusetts. Yay! September 6, 2005, the California legislature becomes the first to pass a bill allowing marriage between same-sex couples. Yes, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger vetoes the bill. Did that mean he co-signed for it? Because I forgot what that mean. What veto mean? Arnold, okay, I watch all your movies. I support you. Not saying that, because transgenders, transgenders have always been able to marry. But I'm saying for my, we in this together. Arnold, let me tell you something. I support you. I own some of your movies. I watch your movies a lot. I love your movies, honey. I love them a little too much. I want to go to Austria too and go see those people out there, honey. Okay, in Vienna. A guy out there said, "I'll treat you like the goddess that you are." I know that's right. Let me make my way on out there. Treat me like the goddess. Me and my girlfriend, we're gonna go out there. Girl, she got her passport too. We're going out there. October 20th, 2006, the New Jersey Supreme Court rules that state lawmakers must provide the rights and benefits to marriage to gay and lesbian couples. That's beautiful, New Jersey. That really is. We're seeing progress. That's really beautiful. May 15th, 2008, the California Supreme Court rules in remarriage cases that limiting marriage to opposite sex couples is unconstitutional. California, you're a little too late for this, honey. Or maybe it's the people of California. I don't know what is going on, but girl, y'all have problems with interracial relationship. 1972, y'all barely approved that. And it's like, Miss Thing, girl, California wasn't even a part of America. Girl, Miss Thing. November the 4th, 2008, voters approved Proposition 8 in California, which made same-sex legal. Well, at least y'all made it, honey. August 12, 2009, Milk is posthumously awarded the Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama. Come on, Barack. October 29, President Obama signs the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act in law. Oh, I never knew about that, Barack Obama. Damn, I should have supported you a little more, Barack. Oh, God, I have no idea about that at all. I really didn't. August 4, 2010, Proposition 8 is found unconstitutional by a federal judge. Oh, I know that's right. Come on, federal judge, come through. September 20, 2011, Don't Ask, Don't Tell is repealed, ending a ban on gay men and lesbians from serving openly in the military. That was what? 10 years? Yeah, after 9/11. You must needed some numbers, honey. May 9th, 2012, an ABC interview, Obama becomes the first sitting U.S. president to publicly support the freedom of LGBT couples to marry. Come on, Barack Obama, girl. Yes, not him. He's not a girl, but I'm saying girl. Come on, yes, for the girls out there. September 4th, 2012, Democratic Party becomes the first major U.S. political party in history to publicly support same-sex marriages on a national platform at the Democratic National Convention. That is amazing. Wow. November 6, 2012, Tammy Baldwin becomes the first openly gay politician and the first Wisconsin woman to be elected to the U.S. Senate. Congratulations, Tammy Baldwin, girl. Yes. Yes, honey. June 26, 2013, United States versus Windsor. Okay, I don't think I can read all this, y'all, because there's a lot of stuff they passed for the gay, honey. Do your research. Wait a minute, honey. Whoa. Whoa. Let's go up to the most recent tea. Daniela Vega, the star of Oscar-winning film A Fantastic Woman, becomes the first openly transgender openly transgender presenter in Academy Awards history when she introduced a performance by Sufjan Stevens, whose song Mystic Love from the Call Me By My Name soundtrack is nominated for Best Original Picture. Come on, girl. I didn't even see that. Who was Daniela Vega? No tea, no shade. I guess I got to look her up, honey. Oh, March 23rd says President Trump resign. What is that? That's not resign. Oh, shit. What is that word? I've never seen that word. Rescinds his previous policy to allow a new policy to take effect that will likely disqualify most transgender people from serving the military. The White House announced that the policy will say transgender persons with a history or diagnosis of gender dysphoria, individuals who the policy states may require substantial medical treatment, including medication and surgery, are disqualified from military services except under certain limited. So this is saying basically, shout out to the woman out there. I saw her ignorant self trying to educate people on what transgender mean. So this says right here that Donald Trump sees that cross-dressers who are heterosexual men that put on women garments is exempt from gender dysphoria. What Donald Trump is saying, any person who have gender dysphoria, which means that you feel like the opposite sex which you were born and you gotta get surgery and medical treatment, is disqualified from the medical services for obvious reasons. So that's what he's saying right there, girl, that transgenders that are cross-dressers and OTVs could still join the military. But transgenders that take hormone therapy, like those of us with gender dysphoria, hello, we can't join because we require medical treatment, hormones, therapy, and surgery, girl. Hello, another slap in your face, because girl, so damn, girl. But hey, you don't even know about your own damn history, so I don't expect you to know about the LGBT community, girl, because you don't even know about your own community. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So anyway, there is not a gay agenda. It is divine intervention, and gays have been here before you, and they're going to be here before you, after you. The whole LGBT community have been here before you. You know, we've been here. You know, we were out here helping your mamas and your great grandmothers. Hell, I think without the LGBT community, I don't think some of y'all would be here right now, because some of y'all grandmothers and mamas confided in homosexuality. Some of y'all mamas was about to. They was about to do your daddy in, honey. They had a gay friend or trans friend that talked him out of it. Can we talk about it? There was a boy that told me a story why he accepted LGBT people. And the story went along the lines of the dad was cheating on the mother several times. The mother had it, and the mother was about to do him in. Okay. And the mother confided in a transgender woman. Her name is Coco. This was in the 90s. She's from Southern California. I don't know if she's still out there will say in the 559 area, Coco, if you're out there and you see this video, girl, hit me up, girl. But the mother confided in Coco, and Coco talked the mother out of doing this man in. And the mother also like called her mother. She called the sisters. Girl, they were like, honey, girl, bye. They didn't think the mom was gonna get down like that, but she was. So like I said before, honey, a lot of y'all are still here because your mother confided in somebody. LGBT. Hell, you look at the TV shows, it wasn't for these damn gay makeup artists and transgender artists. Hell, look at the makeup tutorials, girl. What a female need to contour and highlight her damn face for when she born with natural features of a girl. What she need to highlight? I'm highlighting contour. And it's like, girl, you look the same. Miss Thing, I see all this and it's just like, what are you doing, Miss Thing? You know what highlighting couture, that comes from the drag queens. That comes from men with strong features and or women with strong features that wanted to, downplay and or enhance with, downplay certain features, enhance other features. You're a female, you look a certain way naturally. You don't need that stuff, but it's a mockery. And, you cut in on the LGBT, not all of you, but I've seen some of your makeup videos and it's like, oh my God, that's a tranny, a man that thinks he's a woman. And it's like, girl, where you learn the lingo from? No tea, no shade. Where you learn that from? Putting on a highlight couture, going out to these palette places and just wasting money, Miss Thing. Some of y'all buy my makeup color to contour with. Go to some of these stores. I'm like, where my makeup color? And they're like, we'll be right now. And I'm like, girl, ain't nobody around in the city with my damn skin color. What's going on? And then you walk inside the store and you look in it and you're like, did she contour with my? And you're like, ma'am, can I ask you a question? What color is that contour? And they're like 355, or that's toffee 220, and it's like, bitch, really, Miss Thing, you better go get you a concealer, a thing from Sephora. Some girl, I'm using no damn. Then I wonder why I shop online. Why you don't come in our stores? I never see you in here because I don't shop locally. Because you got these girls that are not even that skin color buying that makeup for highlighting and contouring. It's like, Miss Thing, you don't need all that shit, girl. And I feel sorry for you. You do need it. And I feel sorry for the man that's into that because that's, girl, it's like, Miss Thing, what are you doing? Let me calm down because I'm do your history. I encourage you to do your history on this so-called gay agenda. Is it gay agenda or is it freedom of expression? Is it gay agenda or is it the fact that you tried to suppress the female energy for so long and now she's here kicking your ass? How? What is it? Huh? What is it, honey? Okay, let's go on up, honey. There's only three of y'all, honey. I'm going to bed. Hello, Rose. Hi, Rose. Hi, Adrian. Yes, your email lady say perfect, honey. Yes, I should have been asleep like 4 hours ago. I got to go out and do some stuff today, honey. I got to drive an hour. I can still make it though if I go to bed right after this. Hello, come on. Well, I got me some caffeine too, so I can actually go to bed and wake up in 5 hours and still do it, which I might do that. Some physicists was saying that the underneath Pluto ice top layer is filled with water that warms enough to sustain alien life. They're basically saying Pluto got alien swimmers around inside. Probably, but of course I'm speaking of the energy because we've never seen solid Pluto. Yeah, it doesn't rotate, but it does rotate with something called the Chabon, honey. Hello. Hello, M. Jones. Yes, honey. Come on, Devil's Ivy. Yes. Come on, Devil's Ivy. Yes. What's going on? Hello, Keontae. Yes, girl. Listen, I'm ready when you are, Keontae. Ow. Yes. Hello, Daya. Did you get that last class video? Oh, veto means reject? Oh, hit. Oh, hit. Oh, Arnold, you don't see it for the boys and girls? We'll see if I ever see you again and even acknowledge you. I'm going to say, honey, transphobic, homophobic, and out too. Don't go there. You still live in Sacramento, honey? Or you moved back down to LA? Miss Thing. I'm never going to acknowledge your ass again, honey. You want to veto and get rid of, honey. How about we veto your green card? How about that? Hello! How about we veto that green card? Veto that green card. How about that? Can we veto that green card? Can we vote to veto? Got your opinion, honey. You're not even from this damn country. Girl, bye. Anyway, no tea, no shade. Oh, wow. The Matthew Shepard incident happened when you came out the closet as gay. Come on, Adrian. You were 22 years old. Wow. You were 22 when you came out. Well, during that time, I know it was hard. I know it was hard. Yes, honey. Congratulations for coming out that closet, honey. Coming out that closet. 22. That was young, honey. What was it like growing up in the 90s that young? Or, should I say that old? Because I was very young in the 90s, honey. I think with Matthew Shepard, something happened to him. I think I was like in the 4th or 5th grade. I was like in the 4th or 5th grade, and I didn't know it happened until I think I saw someone on Oprah about it several years later, and I was like, oh my god. Mm. I need to hook up my other mouse. This mouse is acting stupid. Come on, Plain Care knows those words, honey. Perfect. You got it. Perfect, honey. So listen, y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by. I wanted to express my deepest condolences to those out there who are oblivious to how nature works and the universe work. And even when people say, like, I'm really interested in doing some chart readings for some of my haters. I'm really interested in doing some chart readings for those who out there who are against homosexuality, to see what is lurking underneath all that stuff. Because I'm sure I'm gonna find some good stuff. I'm sure, honey. I'm sure. I'm sure, honey. Good morning, honey. Okay. So it was good, honey. It was good. It was good at that time, but it wasn't the best. Well, now look at the progress. Look at how far we've come. The whole LGBT community and the alliance. Love, respect, honey, resilience, honey, not giving up, fighting through things and saying, I'm here. Because everybody could have went into the closet, right? When they were fighting against, going back to even like the 1960s, y'all could have went back in the closet, honey, and none of this would be happening. We wouldn't have none of these people on YouTube openly talking about it. But now that it's open, it's, oh, they're teaching kids how to be this way. How do a 5-year-old know about sexuality? Well, you tell us that about heterosexuality too then. How the hell are you teaching a 5-year-old about what is a male and what is a female, honey? It goes both ways. I was even seeing a video today where the guy was saying that if gays have a problem, they can actually repeal and people are for it. But if somebody comes for a religious group, then there's a problem and that should be an issue. And I'm like, no, because sexuality and race are things that you're just born with. Religious views is what you choose to view. That's not, I mean, that's a choice. So, girl, no, that should not be. If you think that a certain group of people, if somebody decides to make a ice cream that says Jesus in reverse, or they decide to say they decide to talk about make an ice cream called Rapture and all that stuff, it shouldn't bother you. I'm offended by that. We need to. That's blasphemy to a holy name. It's like, how many of y'all even follow that book? Because the ones that say this is like you got a divorce, you divorced 3 or 4 different times, and the Bible said until death do us part. Where does the Bible speak about divorce? So death do us part. Some of y'all married 3 or 4 times. Some of y'all don't got no man or no woman, and y'all are talking about I'm single, but I don't look at adult films. So what you do then? Because we know you ain't celibate, because you would have been saying you're celibate instead of going into detail about what you don't do. We know what the T is, honey. So you're being what you are. You're not practicing what you're preaching. So you're being a hypocrite. So you want this ice cream to stand because some of y'all can come out with no ice cream that talks about a religious figure and it won't sell. That's what you're mad about. You mad because the sales ain't coming in. That's what you mad about. But they can call something Jesus and they selling. You like, oh, delete that. That's blasphemous. It's blasphemous that you're speaking for something that's not even here. You think that Jesus wants y'all speaking for him? You think that the Most High want y'all speaking for him? Now that's blasphemous, honey. I'm sure God is offended by that. I'm pretty sure God is offended by that. Don't speak for nobody who you've never met or you don't even know, baby girl. Speak for your damn self. What you feel. Well, I don't feel. I feel what they told me to feel. Exactly, you're a robot girl. Then you want to talk about weird. Y'all zombies. Y'all walking. Y'all all robots. I'm waking up to this due to the Holy Spirit. It's like, huh? That don't make sense to me. So we read everything, we do everything, we robots, and you read one book and do everything you don't do everything in that one book. You're not a robot and we are. Okay, honey. Okay, that's called arrogant, egotistical, think you know every damn thing type of syndrome. That's what that is right there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's probably why you single and you not married, because ain't no woman wanting that. Oh! Mm. Anyway. You too. Yes, today's Friday, honey. Enjoy that Venus energy. Right. Right. Well, I think they're implementing that, Adrian. I think they're implementing that they're under control and they've been controlled to say that. Because if it takes you to watch a movie or to listen to a song or to see another person to get that awakening, oh my God, I think I'm gay, then something ain't right. Because you could check out through history, there's been LGBT people that have adopted children that are heterosexual. Most of them that adopt come out heterosexual. I know, I know a woman, I know two people. I know a woman that was adopted by a lesbian couple who's very much into men. And I know a man who was adopted by a lesbian couple who are very much into women. You might say, well, that's obvious because, he grew up in a house with two women. So it grew him to like only women. And it's like, well, that's not true. Because if that's the case, then a lot of people grew up with fathers that wasn't acting like fathers. So, and that's what we're plagued with in society. See, people don't want to talk about that. They want to blame it. It's like the devil thing. The devil made me do it. The devil's so evil. You don't want to blame how messed up the heterosexual structure has been before the 80s, and the 80s and the 90s just brought it to the light. You're not willing to acknowledge that. You're not willing to mention about how pimps were doing a thing in the 70s. You're not mentioning that. You're not mentioning how people were doing their things in the 50s and 60s there too. Men having multiple wives. Yeah, girl, you're not talking about that. So it's not about the gay agenda. It's about you putting the blame on other people. Once again, before gay marriage was even approved, and even not even including gay marriage, divorce rates are very high. So there's a gay agenda, there's a divorce agenda, there's a cheat on your wife or husband agenda. Like, no, you got to start taking responsibility for your own self. Society don't make you do anything. You see things and you do or you don't. It is what it is. Because that's the case, everybody would be gay. Like, say I grew up in a household with cousins and siblings, and they're not gay or transgendered or bisexual. How did I come out? The only one that way. The only one. And we grew up with the same food. We ate the same food. We slept in the same damn house. We grew up by the same exact damn parents. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? We seen our parents the same amount of time and all that. There was no, well, you got baby more. No, 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 no. No, because I was not even the youngest child. And as people say too, well, most gay people are the youngest. So, and I'm like, well, that could kind of be true, but I wasn't the youngest child. I was actually the middle child. And if you actually do research, the middle child is the most ignored. They're the ones that are put to the side. So what, I became transgendered for attention? Like, what's your excuse now? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's blaming. Let's blame the gay gender. Y'all making everybody gay. That's why people are gay. Everybody gay. No, it's called divine intervention. And if this is the gay agenda, then what happened prior to this is quite scary to know that that was the heterosexual agenda. I mean, really, because like I said before, going back into artists and stuff, you had women and you had male artists, female artists dressing like men in the 80s and 90s, putting condoms on their eye and stuff, and not female condoms but male condoms, and no one was saying nothing then. When you had your mamas walking around here looking like men, you won't say no gay agenda then, no tea, no shade. Woman cutting her hair into bowl cuts and stuff. You remember that with the door knocker earrings and the short bobs and they're folded under and yo, you know what I mean, and all that good stuff. No one was saying that then. Or when women wearing pants, when they start wearing pants, you want to say that then, because I think that's more masculine than, I'm not saying that women have to wear skirts and dresses, but I'm just saying, like, if there was a gay agenda before all the stuff started coming out, before Disney started doing their, TV show stuff, if that was the heterosexual agenda, then, ooh, that's scary to think about. That's really scary to think about. Because even going into implementing, there was a lot of films, a lot of movies that were projected on male and female love, but they're saying they were seeing a lot of gay love, and I'm like, well, maybe you're just a closet case, because the movies I saw growing up was love between male and female. We didn't see no same marriage stuff, no same, like, no, I barely seen gay stuff. And maybe that's why I'm not, like, I'm an LGBT person, but I don't go to gay clubs. I don't go to gay prides. And maybe that's why I don't, because I didn't see that stuff. I don't know if they're saying there's a gay agenda, but like I said before, I didn't see that stuff. My very first gay movie that I've ever seen was Tu Wong Fu. And I think that was when I was like 21. That was the first movie I'd seen. Then I saw Paris is Burning. Maybe 22. I saw Paris is Burning. So it's like, I mean, let's get down to the bottom of it. Like, what gay agenda? My mom didn't wear makeup. My mom, when there was a funeral, my mom would put on heels and all that stuff. But my mom would never wear makeup. She would do her hair. She would put on earrings and stuff. But she didn't wear high heels. She wasn't wearing dresses and stuff like that. So who did I get this from? I wasn't watched by nobody who molested me. I wasn't taught how to be nothing of what I am. So TV did that. We didn't watch much TV. Hell, we were always on punishment. My stepdad was an old-fashioned man. When we did watch TV, it was like an hour. Weekends was probably the most time we watched hours TV, and we watched a lot of America's Most Wanted, Cops, Mad TV. What else? Yeah, but we couldn't watch TV like that. We were like, no. Did you do your homework? Every time we'd be on the TV, you do your homework, you clean up. Like, for real, my stepdad was very strict. So it's like, no, I don't know if I agree with that TV doing that stuff. I don't know if I agree with that. Because it's like, what are your excuses then? So you saying, oh, never mind. Because that talk is going to get into something else. Because I'm like, girl, maybe that's your problem. Too many of y'all watch TV, and that's why you think there's a gay agenda, because it ate up your damn brain cells. You won't read no damn books. We had to read. Okay, we did homework, and my stepdad will make us redo our homework. Hello. And you ask him why he do that, he wouldn't tell you why, but I know why. It's for us to retain it. A lot of people just skim through books, do their homework, and then I retain what they know. That's why I'm saying, even when it comes to driving and all that, that's why you got all these people that don't know how to drive. Girl, you read the driver handbook, you get your driver license, you move about it. You didn't retain what you learned. I remember everything I learned by driving. I've been driving for 2 years. I remember everything I learned about driving, the rules. You retain things. You don't just read things to read. You retain what you read. If not, you're wasting your money. Going to college and like, you're wasting your coin, honey. If you're just, I'm just gonna go there to read, to write stuff down. Yeah. But that does go into a lot of this stuff. People just want to blame stuff. Oh, I when I played this song, I felt some type of way. Girl, bye. If there was a gay agenda, there's an every agenda out there. There's an eat and milk agenda. I don't eat pork. Every time I turn around, I see pork on the TV. I don't crave pork. So what are you saying then? That they actually did an agenda to make me not eat pork no more? Like, what are you saying, honey? Because I see a lot of pork commercials. Pork, 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 pork. They even started to put pork and chicken hot dogs and stuff. So it's like, Miss Thing, really? A gay agenda? Because they want to depopulate. They want to, and that's where that gay agenda came from too. After the depopulizing of the planet, like, oh, they got a gay agenda because they don't want homosexuals. They want homosexuals coming in because homosexuals can't conceive. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. There's a lot of people I know that are homosexual that are having kids. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. There's no gay agenda, baby girl. Girl, bye. You're just mad. You're just mad because you got to blame it. Yeah, well, my wife left me for a woman. Yeah, that sounds like gays. Yeah. Well, I was too busy working, so I left my son with my neighbor. My neighbor molested my son. That sounds like gays. Well, that's your fault for not having your children around you, because my mom had 4 kids, mama, and she made sure that we were in that house, baby girl, and she made sure that when we were up, she was up, and when we were at school, she was at work, or when we were sleeping, she was at work. But we woke up, we saw her before we went to bed, we saw her. When we got out of school, we saw her. Before we went to school, we saw her. girl. She made sure her schedule was with our schedule. Some of y'all parents don't know how to do that, honey. No tea, no shade. Y'all greedy, y'all selfish, and you wonder why your kids turn out a certain way. Let's not blame society. There's a gay agenda. TV did that. Nickelodeon did that. Barney did that. Yeah, my kids are like that because Barney. All these kids are gay because they watched a Nickelodeon video. Well, according to what it said, a lot of these kids are born smarter than you. So who's going to win? The gay agenda from the people that are more advanced than you are spiritually and intellectually? Look it up. Or the one that is brain dead? Do your research. Those who were born in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, how more advanced they are than the previous generations. Look it up. Even going into how advanced the 60 generation is more advanced than the 40 generation. Like, read it. When you're born into errors, these errors influence you. It influenced generations. It influenced how they're going to think, how they're going to react. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they're talking about, oh, there's a gay agenda. Oh, gay people are taking over. Oh, we got to stop this. Oh, this and that. They're afraid of change. Change is coming. You can't stop that. If you don't like that, build an underground bunker. Save your money up, get all y'all some coins, and get an underground bunker. Let the free people do what they want to do. Let the open-minded people flourish, and then you keep your clothes ass mind underneath the cave somewhere or something. Sit back underneath there and be hateful over there. Put your crystals around, your Bibles around, whatever you do, and pray to gay so we don't go in those caves with you, girl, because I'm not going in there. Go to an island. They got a lot of abandoned islands and stuff. Buy one of those lands out there. Y'all save y'all coin together. Y'all saying y'all got all this money, all these groups, trying to ban the LGBT community. How about you just start your own group culture? We won't miss you. We won't miss you. No, we won't. We won't miss you at all. Matter of fact, I will donate some funds to your ass to find a abandoned island for people that are homophobic, transphobic. If you're just closed-minded, period. You don't like disabled people. You don't like obese people. You don't like skinny people. You don't like white people. You don't like Muslim people. You don't like black people. If you don't like any type of people, start your own island with people only like you, because you got Google, you got YouTube, you got YouNow, you got all these platforms, Facebook, and you all save up your coin and you all go to an abandoned island or someplace, like an inhabitable part of Australia, and you guys survive out there, do your thing out there. We won't miss you. Trust me, we won't. And like I said, I will support that. I'm standing right on my YouTube channel. I will support y'all finding your own colonization or, colonizing your own place and leaving us the hell alone. Let people be fruitful and teach their children how to be open to other people and other differences. Celebrate the diversity in others. I'm for that. I don't like them because they're gay. Don't do the black people. No, they're disgusting. Oh yeah. People like that, you don't need to be here. Go back. Go somewhere else, honey. Go, girl. They got lots of woods. There's a lot of populations in country towns that are dense. They said it's a whole bunch of farmland. You guys put up like gates or something, honey, and move there. I'll support it. I swear I will. Hit me up. I'll definitely support it, honey. We'll get together, me and my people, and we'll pray. We'll even pray for you, honey. We'll cleanse the area if you want that, and let you guys be happy over there with each other. So then, those of us who love diversity, I love different cultures. I love different, when I step outside, I want to see different people. I don't want to step outside and see the same person wearing the same thing I'm wearing, acting the same way. Oh, I like what you like too. I don't want to see that. I want to see everybody. I want to see the Indians, the Asians. I want to see the gays, the straights, the blue hairs, the pink hairs, the ponies, the fairies. I want to see it all. Let me live, honey. I don't want to see the same boring shit. Hi, yeah, what you doing? Oh, wait, I'm taking my kids to school. Oh my God, me too. Oh my God, yeah, I'm like heterosexual. I'm so hetero. Yeah, we're so, it's like, girl, yeah, I got nothing against heterosexual people. I got nothing against nobody, but live and let live. So let me go, because I think I'm talking too much. I'm talking too much. Let me go, y'all. Love and Light. Were there 3 classes? There should have been 3 videos. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. You had a hard time. Hello. Okay, come on, M. Jones. You said you had a hard time. Well, I bet you there's a lot of them come out the closet now. They needed the leaders to come out. They needed the leaders to come forward. The real honest truth. Those people that were born in the 80s, I would say 70s, 75 and up have really pulled in the energy that we're seeing now. This is all my, not saying that you only got to thank that group, because of course there's people before us that were doing things and they were, pushing and pushing and pushing. But this group of people, like I said, is freeing. There's a lot of doors that have been opened from the generation, like I said, was born from 1975 up to the millennium. And I would even say up to now, because the ones that are even born now, they're going to even push the civilization even further. Although people are saying that it's getting pushed behind. Well, you understand that because different things are happening. When people say the world is ending, it's ending because your old way of thinking is ending. Think about it. Think about when you lived in a house for a while, or you've been at a certain job for a while, and change come to where your job downsizes or relocates. You feel like your whole world is upside down. Oh my God, they moved me. Oh my God, I was getting paid $22 an hour for 15 years. Now I'm getting paid 19. Like it's really devastating. And I'm not making fun of that, because that is a psychological thing. Your mind adjusts and it changed to be with certain things. But like I said before, you got to be open to change as well. And I don't know, maybe it's because I was born, in the late 80s. Maybe it's because, I'm a transgender person. Maybe it's because I had open parents. I don't know, but I'm open to change. Change is not scary for me. New things, it's like, okay, this is a new experience. I'm ready for it. But that old stuff, like I said, honey, you gotta change that. I know it's hard. It's, oh God, I did my life was this way for so long. Yeah, but change happened. Things are happening very quickly. We are advancing, and that's what the people that incarnated in the 80s, 70s, and 80s and 90s incarnated for. To bring about the change for the newer people to come in, the ones that were born in the 2000s and 2015. Yeah, if it wasn't for the people born in the 70s, 60s and 70s, honey, then they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. But they're like, oh my God, they're teaching my kids about the LGBT. They sure the hell is, because there's a lot of gay people here, honey. We don't want no fights. We don't want no drama. We don't want no issues, Miss Thing. We don't care about what you do. Some of y'all don't even know how to take care of your damn kids. We see that. I see it all the time. Go to grocery stores, I'm like, damn, why they have kids? They don't even know how to take care of their damn kids. What? And now they're worrying about the gays. She got a man, she can't even keep her man happy. She worried about two men being together. He got a wife and can't even keep her happy. And he worried about two women together, two men together. It's like, see what I mean? We're all concerned about other people's lives. Worry about yourself. This world will be a lot better. I swear to you, this world will be a lot better if we all worried about ourselves. What our husbands and wives are doing, we're not even your kids, because you don't own your kids. Your job is to raise your kids to be the best persons that they are. It's not to guard them. I want you to be a doctor. You better marry a Asian man. No, that's not your job, honey. You're not God, honey. And that's why some of y'all got have problems now, but I won't go into that. We won't go into that, honey. I'm going to raise my kids to only be this way and only be that way. And if they're that way, I'm going to disown them. Well, that's why God made it where you can't have kids, honey. No shade. That's why it's not working out for you. But anyway, let me go. Yes, live and let live. Okay. Yes. There you go. There you go. You said it, M. Jones. Be who you are. Love what you want to love. That is your business who's in your bed, not nobody else's. It's your business who you're in love with, not nobody else's. It's your business who you decide to live your life with, not nobody else's. Who cares? Because we all sit back and say, well, I don't like the fact that, because we can all voice our opinions. There's some people I see, I'm like, why did you marry that person? And sometimes I think people just marry women because, of that mentality. I had to marry this woman. Or same woman. I think some women marry men because they're forced, I have to marry this man. But a lot of them, you're like, why? What made you marry them? The answer they want to say is, well, it's because it's a woman or because it's a man. I swear that's what you want. Like, it's not what you want to hear, but you do hear that. Like, well, I mean, it is a woman. Okay, but there's like 5 million women out there. What made you marry the first one you met? Like that is a cult. I don't know. I won't even go into that, girl. I want to meet everybody on this damn planet, or at least go to at least 4 other continents before I find my husband. Girl, bye. No tea, no shade. Girl, I want to experience life. I want to experience before I say, yes, we're getting married. Yes, this is the one I'm going to be with. How would I know that? How would I know if I never met the men in Russia, or I never met the men in Scotland or Denmark or Egypt or Africa or China? How do I know that? Never been to South America. How do I know if the man I'm supposed to be with is next door to me or he lives down the street? How would I know that? When I never stepped outside my damn city. I have, but I'm saying. I'm speaking for the other people. How would you know that? Well, yeah, I know he's for me because I like what he like. Yeah, well, every relationship have its ups and its downs. Yeah, but I don't want to be fighting about stupid shit. You bought an extra bag of hot Cheetos? Oh no. We're not compatible, boo boo. We're fighting over who left the remote control in the bathroom. We're fighting over who was the last one to brush their teeth and then put the cap back on the toothpaste. Honey, we should be compatible. Only thing we should be fighting over, possibly, is one of us is not being really open with each other. Like, why do I feel like you have ideas and you don't share them with me? Like that fight will be normal, but not. Did you forget to pay the water bill? So you're responsible and I'm responsible. We're not compatible, sis or bruh. I like hot Cheetos. You don't. I like to keep the water on. You don't. I like to keep the light on in the kitchen while I sleep, and you don't. Or I like to turn the lights off because I like sleeping in darkness. But I like turn off lights and I need a nightlight on. We're not compatible. Things we could compromise on, but girl, we're not compatible, honey. Somebody's gonna love the darkness too. Somebody's gonna love the toothpaste being left off the cap too. Somebody's gonna love the fact to take off my shoes and I leave them by my door. Somebody's gonna love that. Somebody's gonna love the fact that I wear wigs and take them off when I'm tired, and they're not gonna care. Some people like the fact that I wear makeup whenever the hell I choose to, and don't wear it whenever they choose to do. It is what it is. But you don't like that? Nah, I can't. Okay, girl, bye, bye, bye. Anyway, let me go, honey. Your uncle ostracized you. Last year, his son, my elder cousin, came out as gay. He was married with kids. Now my uncle acts he never had a problem. See, there you go. See, there you go, Adrian. See what I mean? People do that. That's what I'm saying. People do that. There's a universal law. The universal law says something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing, the same ones who create the problems usually already created a solution, and vice versa. So going into that, when they have these videos that are, I can prove that homosexuality was made by this and that. I'm like, bro, what is your background? Because how do a random person from the hood have the money to even support technology to study chemicals in the water and stuff? Because that stuff costs coin. It costs coin. Like, how do you even come with that? Like, do people not question that? Well, I did my research and it proved that one in every black household who got a single mother, the son comes out to be gay. Like, who paid you to go do a census? Because how would you know that? They don't say that. They don't say, I did a census report and there's out of every 500 black women, I found out 2 of them were single parents and they had mostly sons. Like, how do you find that? How do you have the money to do that? When do you have the time to do that? You actually went to your city and got the data for that? Like, I'm confused. How does that happen? And it's like nobody questioned that. I question that. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But yet you can't figure out what caused your mother and your father to separate when you were 3 years old. The truth behind it. You can figure out why your parents put you up for adoption. You can do no research on your family lineage line, but you have the answers to other people problems. No, bruh, you're part of that system that create the issues. So you're part of the system that create the issue. That's why you're saying that gay is an agenda and they put stuff in the water. And then you're part of the agenda to say that it's actually not, that it's actually brought on by this. So they play both sides. Like, I'm not stupid, girl. You got a funding to do that. And the funding came from people that support it. Even going into when they say that the first gay pride was actually funded by the KKK. And it's kind of like, Well, it's not a lie because you do your research, but it's like, it just makes you think about that. Like, so they don't like LGBT or people of color, but they support it. Then you wonder what's going on with these undercover agents. They're all being exposed and they're all getting taken out. And then, of course, they say, well, it's because they knew the truth. No, it's because they were a part of the schemes and scams and they did their duty. That's what it was. The work that they were hired to do was completed, honey. Girl, bye. You can't repeat what other people say and then say that you exposed some tea. Girl, bye. Anyway, let me go. Love and light. Peace and blessings, y'all. Happy Friday. And I'm actually glad I got this video out the way. Now we do other videos. Not playing. But yeah, for those of you who are interested in a natal chart, honey, we're doing full natal for half price. You go to the blog spot. You can email me. I can direct you to that if you want to. And that'll be for this whole weekend. 28spirit8 mystic8.blogspot.com. Blogspot.com, and any questions about products or services that you purchase, 28spirit8 mystic8@gmail.com. 28spirit8mystic8@gmail.com. I'm about to take this butt to bed, honey. I should have been asleep about 3 or 4 hours ago, but that's fine. I'm about to take my little nap, wake up, honey, and go do my thing, honey. Shout out to the girl I had a reading for today, and shout out to the girl I'll be going on to a consultation for today. It's people like you that make this all possible. It's people like you where I can sit on my computer for 4 hours and make a damn video. Hello! Could you support me? Let me stop. Let me go, y'all. Love and light. Yes. Bye for now. Yes. Ow, ow, ow.